it's possible it's in Arabic, but
it's also
just
in Edo.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's also in Edo.
Thank you very much,
maybe if you look at it clearly, maybe there is some that will give us some level of more deep contact between Arabic and Edo at some point in history. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yes, maybe. So, any other question, please, or comments?
Yeah, Prof, I have just a minor comment, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good presentation, Damilola. I kind of enjoyed it, followed it through. Just that would have felt better if we had a bit of something to be looking at while you are presenting. And then since Naija conference,
I sent it to the group. I guess it wasn't headed.
It sent it to the group. Maybe what we do for the others is just resend the slide. For the others who are presenting next, just resend your slide to the group so that, because a lot of materials have come in, and so people are probably having a problem searching for those materials. Okay. Go on, Ebuka.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, but then I feel there are some, looking at the data that you presented, so make I just go Naija, since Naija and Excellence Conference, make we shall use the language as it be. So we get some, as they roll out your data, I actually enjoyed as they roll out the data, but then I felt I should just suggest, if like say you can't forget a bit of the structure of the language as it were, like Prof likely said. So make we know they look at from the angle, use the lenses of English, just the view Naija they on its own as it day. So like when you say the politicians just they give us word. The structure as it be, so no be English syntactic arrangement as it be. A lot of things don't change. But I guess we're looking at the Nigerian borrowed word or the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. We are more focused on that. But each of those syntactic arrangements gives a bit of, suggests some inference meaning to that word where they look for. So if you just actually consider the arrangement of the syntactic arrangement of the sequence, the type of words in that sentence, it will still give some other meaning, give the word where they look out for. Again, I feel you get some of the data where gloss some, you just pick one or two and then left the others. For instance, the number 9 or something, you say na you sabi. So you said that the sabi there is the Yoruba word, you forgot the na. So you may just have to consider the na there na Igbo. I don't know if you have it in your work, but you just have to, I think you were a bit selective in the words you actually analyze. So make it just, because as your readers, they read your work, they're going to see the data from, not be just the one where you decide to analyze. It will be like you are selective, say, figures, as you get talked about the other one, you just talk about the one where you talk about, that kind of thing. I know go there where some of us go to read your work. Apart from that, I think it's good. Thank
you. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ebuka. Yeah. Well, obviously, Damilola, you have a good presentation. And
thank you, sir.
And I will advise that you take the comments and then enrich your work. There is a lot to talk about, but, we have to allow other people to make their presentations. So thank you very much for this wonderful.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes. So
thank you for having me, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Dr. Legweti.
Sir.
Yes. Go on with your presentation. You have 10 minutes.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to share my slide. Okay. This is my slide showing.
Yes, we can see you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Conversational AI and the rise of Naija as a digital legal franca. That is what this paper will be looking at. Now, in recent years, there has been a rise in conversational artificial intelligence tools such as Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, ChatGPT, and Microsoft AI. I'm sorry, trying to. Sorry. And these has tremendously transformed how Nigerians interact, learn, and express themselves online. All right. AI has, sorry, I'm trying to. AI has in fact moved from the realm of science fiction into everyday life. Conversational AI is reshaping how people communicate, work, and engage with technology. In Nigeria, this shift is particularly significant as these platforms are noticeably changing how language is being used and understood in digital space gradually. And so what's interesting to us is this: what is the fate of Naija if indeed conversational models are shaping digital discourse? This study is therefore an investigation into conversational AI tools such as Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, ChatGPT, and Metal AI in the everyday digital interactions of Nigerians, focusing on the powerful intersection of Naija with technology, identity, and legal franca emergence. So the question, why our interest? Let me just continue. Data for the work were gotten from AI platform interactions with the use of Naija in real-time conversation to analyze the capacity to interpret, adapt, or probably misread Nigerian Pidgin English linguistic nuances. The work looks at the viability and limitation of Western-centric language models in grasping indigenous expressions. And lastly, the work explores the potentials of AI to normalize and elevate the status of Naija across both formal and informal domain. The paper argues that conversational AI is not merely a passive medium, but an active participant shaping not only cultural narratives, but importantly, linguistic norms. Consequently, with intentional localization and cultural sensitivity, AI can serve as a catalyst for elevating Niger from street parlance to a unifying national language and a formally accepted lingua franca, offering new pathway for identity formation, digital inclusion, and cultural cohesion. Because when Nigerian users interact with platforms such as ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, they're likely to adjust their use of Naija to ensure comprehension. And over time, this iterative exchange can influence how users express themselves online, particularly among younger, digitally immersed users. This means conversational AI tools are not merely functioning in the computational sense, but they have become social actors capable of shaping linguistic habits and norms. To look at this from a theoretical framework, we actually engaged social learning theory by Bandura in 1977. And this work posits that individuals learn not only through direct experience, but also by observing and interacting with others. And we mean in this work now, digital agents. In the context of conversational AI, users often modify their linguistic behavior based on how this system responds, leading to subtle shift in grammar, vocabulary, and code switching practice. The study also adopts CDA as a methodological approach, since it allows us to interrogate the power dynamics embedded in AI-generated language. CDA enables deeper examination, discourse analysis, enables deeper examination of how conversational AI platforms respond to Naija asking critical questions. I don't know whose voice is clashing with mine.
Please, if you are, please, can I request that we all mute our phones, our microphones? Please, if you are not presenting, mute. Mute, please. Somebody is interfering with us here. Who is that? Somebody's, I think it's, who is, okay, I think we've got rid of that. All right, go ahead, please.
All right. So I said this study also used critical discourse analysis as a methodology that allows the interrogation of the power dynamics embedded in AI-generated language data. CDA enables deeper examination of how AI platforms respond to
please, Mr. Who is that? Please, mute.
Such as whose voice is being amplified at the background of my presentation now. I don't know whose voice is being amplified, whose is being silenced. This approach is particularly relevant in assessing the biases and exclusion that may arise when Western-centric language models encounter indigenous linguistics nuances. Methodology. This study adopts a qualitative research design rooted in interpretivist principles, meaning lived experiences over numerical generalization. And this we do because the goal is to understand how Nigerian Pidgin is, how it interacts with AI platforms and to assess its potential as a national lingua franca in the digital space, not through metrics, but through voices, conversations, and cultural texture. To do this, the research draws on curated set of AI interaction samples of real conversations between Nigerian users and platforms like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, and Metal AI. This exchange is both text-based and voice-driven. It is targeted at revealing how Naija is used, interpreted, and even sometimes misunderstood by AI system. They will eventually offer us a glimpse into the digital negotiation of language and how users tweak their phrasing, switch codes, or simplify expression just to be understood by machines. Now, a little about Naija. I'm sure you've heard that, so I'm keeping that. Yes, so I understand, sir. Let me just rush to my data for this. Okay, so now, but let's just, let me just run through some of my data because of time. In the course of the research, we started a discussion with Copilot, for instance. This is one of the curated. Hi, Copilot. Hey there, I'm glad you reached out. I'm Copilot, your AI companion, built to help you learn and explore. Think of me more than just a Q&A bot. I can dive into research. So we moved from there to ask, to say, I want yarn for Pidgin with you, and the ChatGPT respond, no wahala, make we dey yarn for Pidgin. How your side dey run? You want make I gist you small about wetin dey happen for Naija, or you prefer make we just catch cruise? And then now said, and then the next question, I just want to ask you, who teach you Naija? And ChatGPT said, oh, nobody sit me down, teach me Naija like classroom. As Copilot, I sabi plenty languages because I don't learn from how people they use them for books, online news, and everyday conversation with the internet. And that's why I feel Nyan Pidgin join English, French, Spanish. So it not be say one person show me. Now the way Nigerians they talk for online and for the text where I don't study made me sabi am. You won't make a drop small Naija slang where they sweet for gist. So these are part of the data that we created. And then we went to some of the reactions to the use of AI and Naija in digital space. Frustrations and misunderstanding. User one says, this AI know they agree understand Pidgin at all. I yarn make I bath and they ask me if I want swim. User two, AI sabi they twist my talk like say I dey speak Greek. I don't tire jare, like say them build am for obodo only. User three, I dey use and learn new grammar self. It dey help me small, but you see do like say Naija na joke language. User 4, I go talk, I dey hungry. He go reply, I'm sorry to hear that. Now wetin be that? So in conclusion, because of my time, I'll say that our findings reveal that analysis of AI interaction samples revealed a mixed pattern in how platforms respond to Naija, while tools like ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot occasionally recognize common phrases, such as "wetin dey happen" or "abeg help me." It sometimes fail to understand "I dey HO" or "someone kpai person for our yard" for daybreak. So these are the areas that our findings came up with, and our recommendation is this. As Nigeria continues to assert itself in Nigeria's digital conversations, its future as a national legal franca depends not only on cultural momentum, but on deliberate strategic action. This study offers 5 key recommendations to support this journey. This is in the full work. Summarily, therefore, we're saying that there is an urgent need to invest in localized AI research. Government agencies, universities, bodies like our own, and tech companies must collaborate to build robust Naija corpora, since it says it learns from what it's able to access. We need to train AI models on indigenous data and develop tools that reflect Nigeria's linguistic diversity. Thank you for listening. Let me not take too much time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Olegbeti, for this wonderful presentation. There's a lot to learn from this presentation. I think we open it up now for questions and comments. Oh yeah, we don't ready. Make una any person when want to ask question, make it show in hand, make it asking question. I mean, make we ask AI, make AI ask question. Make Any questions? Okay. Now let me just you use two tools. You use the ChatGPT and Copilot, right?
Yes, sir.
In your estimation, which of them do you think is more closer to what you will call has better competence in Naija?
Okay, sir. Not my opinion, but by statistics, sir, ChatGPT seems to be doing very well as we speak with relevance to Naija, the nuances and several aspects of the language. I think ChatGPT is doing very well, but I use Copilot more, generally speaking.
Okay. So now let me also ask another question, which is what do we do with expressions that are heavily culturally nuanced, like proverbs?
I just like my recommendation, I think we need to put more of our data online, because it as far as it can access, the farther it goes is the capacity it builds. So the more we put data online there, like this conference that we just had, sir, most of our work and data, if it's put out there, I'm very sure the conversational AI will keep improving, and we get it right shortly.
Okay, thank you very much. And we look forward to reading your complete paper.
I'm grateful, sir.
All right then. So let's now move to Adedeji Babatunde. I think you are the next presenter.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So let's hear from you.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adedeji Samuel Babatunde, and I'm from the Department of Linguistics, a master student of constitutional linguistics, and I'll be presenting on behalf of my group, because this project, this paperwork is done by 10 people, so I'll be presenting on their behalf. So our presentation title is, please let me share my screen. Morphological, sorry, please. Okay. Okay, morphological and lexical analysis of a parallel corpus of selected Afro beats and Afro Afrobeat and Afrobeats. So to begin, it's important to clarify the distinction between Afrobeat and Afrobeats, as these two terms form the core of our analysis. And I want you to understand that Afrobeats, without the X, refers to the traditional genre developed in the 19th century by Fela Anikulapo Kuti. It is known for its long instrumental sections, jazz, high live influences, and heavy percussion and strong political messages. While the Afrobeat with an X is a modern West African pop sound popularized from the 2000th century to the present moment. It is digitalized, dance-oriented, stylistical devices, and globally mainstream, and is being driven by contemporary artists like Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tiwa Savage, and others. So understanding this, are we going further to the abstract? To the abstract. Now, Nigerian pidgin, also known as Nigerian pidgin, has emerged as one of the most favorite contact languages in West Africa, cutting across ethnic, social, and educational boundaries. And in Nigeria, it's functioned not only as a lingua franca, but also as a cultural resource, especially in Afrobeat and Afrobeats. So Afrobeat pioneers like Fela and Kuti and contemporary Afrobeat artists such as Burna Boy, Mr. Hees, Simi, Fax, and Tubaba frequently use Naija pidgin in their lyrics as a tool for expression, identity, and social contemporary. And this has contributed further to the global recognition of Naija pidgin and, moreover, to its rich capability for expressibility through its dynamic linguistic structures, particularly in morphology. So despite this growing recognition, there remains a possibility of scholarly efforts aimed at systematically documenting and collaborating this linguistic resource for natural language processing and other compositional linguistics application. Now, to the introduction, Naija pidgin emerged from trade and colonial contact in West Africa, which has grown into a widely spoken Nigerian lingua franca. It is full of languages with its own grammar and vocabulary, not a broken form of English. Music, especially Afrobeat and Afrobeats, has played a major role in spreading and elevating pidgin. So with artists like Fela, Burna Boy, Mr. Hitch, Charlie Poppy, and Faz, using it to express identity and connect with diverse audiences. So this studies focuses on an area less explored, which is the morphology and lexical creativities of pidgin in Afrobeat lyrics, including word formations, code switching, and how digital tools like Flex can help document this low resource language. Now, our research gap and problem statement are: one, in the domain of music, especially Afrobeat and Afrobeats, pidgin has become a dominant medium for expression, for expressing satire, romance, social critiques, and every realities. And Nigerian artists such as Fela Kuti, Burna Boy, Mr. Hees, among most of others, consistently deploy pidgin to reach audiences across ethnic and social boundaries. However, while scholars have studied pidgin in literature, in education, in spoken interactions, fewer works have systematically examined how it functions morphologically, lexically within the lyrical content of songs. Two, this lack of attention creates a research gap on how artists manipulate pidgin words, morphemes, and idiomatic expression to convey meaning in music. How does switching between pidgin, English, and indigenous language like Yoruba enrich the lyrical message? How can digital tools be used to document and analyze pidgin as a low resource language? And addressing this question is necessary not only for linguistic scholarship, but also for appreciating the cultural power of Afrobeat as a global gender rooted in African languages. Now, our objectives of these, the objectives of this research is number one, the aim of this study is to conduct, we are able to conduct a morphological and lexical analysis of Naija pidgin in selected Afrobeat and Afrobeat songs, with a focus on how artists employ pidgin as a linguistics and cultural tools. And our objectives were: number one, to look at the specific objective, which are to identify and analyze. We're able to identify and analyze the morphological features of Naija pidgin, looking at the reduplication, compounding, affixation, and the progressive markers in those selected songs lyrics. Three, we're able to compile and organize a corpus of artistics, the lexical choices they use that can be used in downstream linguistics and cultural analysis to examine and interpret their cultural and social artistic meanings. Three, to document and annotate, we're able to document and annotate the instances of switching between Pidgin, English, and Yoruba, or other local languages within the artistic lyrics for use in corpus-based analysis of lyrical expression. Four, we're able to document Pidgin words from the selected songs by building a searchable lexicon using Fieldworks Language Explorer, known as Flex. Then our research questions. We have our 4 research questions. What morphological features of Naija pidgin is looking at the replication, the compounding, the affixation, the progressive marker, which can be identified and analyzed in the selected song lyrics. 2, how can a corpus of artistics, lexical choices be compiled and organized to support downstream linguistics and cultural analysis of their cultural, social, and artistic meaning? 3, in what ways does switching between Pidgin, English, and Yoruba or other local languages occurs in artistic lyrics, and how can these instances be documented and annotated for corpus-based analysis? 4, what Pidgin words can be extracted from the selected songs, and how can this be systematically documented in a searchable lexicon using Fieldworks Language Explorer, known as Flex? Then our scope of study, where this study covers about 8 popular Nigerian songs from different artists like Fela Kuti, Mr. His, Simi, Charlie Poppy, Fabs, and Heriga. So the selection intentionally span into related but distinct genres. Afrobeats are representing Fela of the 1960s to 18th century style, and contemporary Afrobeats represented by the remaining artists, spanning from 2000th century to present. So these were able to distinct the genres were chosen to represent both classical Afrobeat and modern Afrobeats. Our methodology. The methodological process was 1, corpus-based design using nice songs. We're able to use nice songs. 2, we collected lyrics and we clean the lyrics and segment the lyrics. 4, we use Flex for morpheme segment, to segment the morpheme, to gloss, and to do the lexicon building. Then 3, we make use of quantitative and qualitative analysis combinations. Then our data sources. The data consists of lyrics from 9 songs by 6 artists: Fela Kuti, Mr. Hayes, Simi, Charlie Poppy, Falz, Eriga. So these artists were chosen because they represent both classical Afrobeats and contemporary Afrobeats and others, ensuring that the database capture historical continuity and current usage. Now, these are our morphological findings. In one of the Fela songs, which is Shakara Oloyeni, we were able to discover there is a place he mentioned, Waka Waka. So that's an example of reduplication. And he also in Peking, Wahala. That's an example of borrowing. It's a word borrowed from particular language and Yoruba language. Then we have progressive marker like the Waka. Then we have compounding, leg over. We have in Charlie Poppy song. We have borrowing in contexts like Shakara in Fela songs. Now these are our morphological analysis. So this data shows that Naija pidgin employ various morphological processes such as reduplication, compounding, borrowing, and affixation. So the table here shows the morphological analysis of replication, compounding, and borrowing. If you look at the form, we have Waka Waka, which is reduplication, and the glossing is wandering. The part of speech is verb, is a verb. Then the meaning is it means restless movement. Then we have it means restless movement. Then we have Shakara, borrowing, which shows it is a borrowing word from Yoruba. It means show off. That's meaning you show up. Then the part of speech is now. Then it donates pride. Then we have leg over, which is also compounding. It's a compound word, and it's the gloss is tricks. Then the part of speech is a verb, now, an adjective. Can be used as noun, can be used as verb, can be used as adjective, and it means to deceive or to fool someone. Then we have wahala, which is a borrowed word from Hausa language. It means trouble, and the part of speech is it also means a verb now, and it refers to problems or difficulties or a state of distress. Then we have pikin, which is also a borrowing word from Portuguese language. It means child, and the part of which is now. Then the context means small one. Also, we have the lexical analysis. The lexical analysis. The lexical analysis item found in the corpus research reviews creativity through borrowing, semantic shifts, and idiomatic expressions. In respect to this, a frequency count was conducted to determine the most recurring lexical item, which was deployed below. Now, look at the table. We're able to identify the lexical analysis in terms of word use in these Afrobeat and Afrobeats. Like what in one of the Fela songs, like Wahala, it occurs 12 times. Gloss, which means the problem or trouble.
Yes.
Then part of it is now.
Go on. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
So we have Shakara, which it appears 9 times. We have Enjoy appears 8 times. Pikin, it appears 7 times. We have BC, which appears 6 times in the songs. And also we also look at the comparison of the Afrobeat and Afrobeat usage. So our analysis shows that a clear difference between Fela Kuti's Afrobeat and our contemporary Afrobeat musicians. Fela Kuti tends to employ satirical and socially conscious pidgin words such as Shakara, Oloje, and Wahala. While contemporary Afrobeat artists like Burna Boy, Mr. Hayes, and Charlie Poppy make frequent use of slang and contemporary expressions such as BC, cruise, and enjoy. So this usage is demonstrated in the table, of discussion findings in the table above. Then also we looking at the table, we have Shakara, Wahala, Enjoy, Pikin. In Afrobeat, in Fela, it appears 6 times. Shakara appears 6 times. It appears in Afrobeat, the modern 3 times. Then the total frequency is 9. Then Wahala 5 times. In Afrobeat 7 times. The total is 12. Then Enjoy in Afrobeat, no Enjoy. Then in Afrobeat, it appears 8 times. The total is 8. Pikin 4 times. In Afrobeat 3 times. Then total is 7. BC none. Then Afrobeat 6. Then the total is 6. So this findings was able to help us to review that Naija pidgin in music is highly productive in both morphology and lexical creativity. Borrowing appears as the most dominant morphological process usage in Shea, Cruise, and ES studies like lexical, island, enjoy. So this both the Afrobeat and Afrobeat confirm earlier studies, and this lexical analysis further shows that Afrobeat emphasizes satire and social contemporary, while Afrobeat emphasizes lifestyle, freestyle, behavior, and entertainment. Now, in conclusion, so this study shows that Naija pidgin, as used in Afrobeat and Afrobeat music, is a structured and expressive language rather than broken English. Through flex analysis of song lyrics, it highlights pidgin's linguistic patterns and its role in shaping identity, connecting with diverse audiences, and preserving cultural authenticity in a global music landscape. So thank you. I thank you well, Wally.
Thank you, Adedeji, for this very detailed presentation. I'm just looking at your Twali. I was wondering why you spelled it Tuale. I mean, that's just on the lighter side, because some spellings will be Twale. I mean, it's a matter for the orthography, people who are interested in orthography to think about. Now, we've heard his presentation. We can now entertain comments and and questions. So who is anyone interested in making a comment, asking questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please go ahead. Introduce yourself and.
I would like to make some comments on the last presentation.
Go ahead, sir.
Professor Akinade. The work has to do with morphological analysis. So I do not really know why progressive markers need to come into this, because progressive markers are basically issues that deal with syntax aspects. So I do not really think that they should include progressive markers under morphology. That's one. And again, perhaps the presenter should have said one or two things about the motivation. Why do Afrobeat artists, why do they use a perfect blend of both English and local languages and Naija? And this has to do with what Robertson 1995 describes as localization. So they need to read around that. It's a whole ideology, because they want to connect with the mainstream. They want to connect with the mainstream for some reasons. One, economic reason. Second, to reach larger audience. And also, they need to make their work authentic and keep it real by using indigenous languages. So, using both indigenous and indigenous languages, Naija and English, is a whole ideology that they need to read about, so as to make the work very, very, very rich. And if they don't mind, I can send some of my works to them. At least I know that I have close to 10 papers in this area. So people do not just code switch; they code switch for a reason. So what are the motivations for the code switching? Perhaps they may want to read Meascotty multiple voices. That will shed light on why and the need, the rationale for code switching. And they should not forget that code switching in everyday conversations is quite different from code switching in music. So they need to really read around this to make the work very, very rich. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof. Adedeji, you heard that. Adedeji, are you still with us? Have you been bumped off? All right, so thank you very much. I think we can now invite the last presentation. Is that Agnes presenting for Ora Oluwa? Agnes Liberty.
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir. I understand from the chat room that some persons are having issues connecting and they haven't been able to solve that problem. I don't know if...
No, just go ahead, make your presentation. Those who are in charge will be sorting it out.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the slide is not available yet, so I'm going to just quickly do this presentation like this, sir. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm back. This paper is an exploration of Nigerian pidgin proverbs in everyday communication. It is a paper by Associate Professor Beatrice Orelua, Dr. Uju Okide, and Professor Nesta Nachafia Aliu. The paper explores the roles of Nigerian pidgin proverbs in everyday communication, emphasizing their function as sociocultural and linguistic resources in a multilingual society like ours. As we all know, Nigerian pidgin has developed into a widely spoken lingua franca, informally though, and it transcends Nigeria's over 50,000 ethnic languages everywhere. Proverbs are deeply rooted in our oral traditions, and they have historically been used to transmit collective wisdom inked on cultural values, usually to mediate social interactions. In the context of Nigerian pidgin, these proverbs carry unique significance because they convey indigenous worldview, a sense of humor, and our philosophical outlook on life with adaptive features of hybrid language, which is born from our colonial experience and trade encounters. This work draws from verified proverbs and recent scholarly research. The work highlights how pidgin proverbs function across different strata of life, occasions, and settings such as marketplace, family interaction, politics, social media, music, church setting, and popular culture. The study delineates the ways that proverbs foster solidarity, negotiate social tensions, and preserve cultural identity while adapting to modern realities, including urbanization and even digital communication. It adopts a close linguistics and social cultural analysis, which affirms the invaluable nature of Nigerian pidgin proverbs. This work is not statistic relics of our tradition, because younger generation even express their opinion with proverbs in our time, which means that proverbs are dynamic life expressions and they are resilient, creative, and collectively indigenous. So I will just go straight to some of our data just to emphasize the nature of the proverb. Pidgin proverb, for instance, functioning as instrument of humor and social critic. Now only goat we get owner, they vex when they thief am. Meaning only goat, this saying, he's humorously commenting on issues of neglect and responsibility, while also serving as a subtle critic of governance and leadership, especially when people are treated wrong, maybe outside of our shores, they are not treated right, and you just want to get upset. You realize that it's when your government is active, that's when you can even reach out for help. So now let go to get owner the vex when they tiffan. Another proverb that we look at also is 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. And in this context here, we are talking about the reality of the dawning of the day of justice. Pidgin proverbs also are moralistic. Pikin wey say a mama no go sleep, no go sleep. And then we also have a wolf, they run belle. We also have God day, na poor man prayer. And Konima die, Konima burial. These are all profound proverbs that encapsulate wisdom in the form that they pass across the message. Also, the proverb, when fish begin to spoil, na head it start from, is used also, for instance, to comment on corruption in leadership. The imagery of decay in the fish head resonates strongly with audience as a powerful critique of governance. This metaphorical style allows proverb to convey layered meaning that extend beyond the literal. As Nwakwo observes, the visual language of a proverb mirrors the collective consciousness of a people. It transforms ordinary speech into symbolic discourse. Rhythm and sounds are also crucial stylistic features of pidgin proverbs, as sometimes you find in our proverb the use of repetition, as mentioned by my colleague that presented the paper now. There's the use of repetition, rhythm, and alliteration to create musicalities. So you see something like slow, slow, now you go reach the river, or only by going slow, slow will one eventually reach the destination, relying on the repetition of the word slow, slow to emphasize and re-emphasize patience and steady progress. We also have humor as another key rhetorical strategy found in Nigerian pidgin proverbs. Sometimes you hear an example that I used earlier. Now only go to their owner the verse when farm. It's funny, but it's also a playful exaggeration that challenges social norms and irregularities. We also have lizard no dey shake head for nothing. Can actually be a parent's reprimand to an errant child. And also such symbolic references are found in our cultural experiences. Then we also have a person where they chop alone, they die alone. Also another of our reprimand, our caution. Then we have when wahala full ground, now you need to go clear road. This was common during the NSAS protest. So sometimes experiences begets a lot of these our proverbs. A pastor can also say, if hand wash hand, both hand go clean, referring to cooperation, mutual support, and understanding. So in conclusion, Nigeria Pidgin Proverbs stand as a testament to the richness and adaptability of Nigeria's linguistics and cultural landscape. It functions as a vehicle for passing across wisdom, humor, social critique, and they also encapsulate communal value while serving pragmatic roles in our everyday communication. Through Proverbs, Nigerian Pidgin has transcended its colonial origin, evolving into a language solidarity, a language identity of our Niger. In contemporary society, proverb continues to share narratives of modernity and traditions, offering insight into what we were before and what we are on our way to. Their use in media, music, and social commentary reinforces their relevance, especially among younger generation who blend traditions with globalized influences. This study, therefore, has shown that Nigerian Pidgin proverbs are not mere linguistic relics, but living expressions of collective experience and socio-political engagement. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olegbeti. I understand you have presented this for Dr. Oreoluwa, right?
Yes, sir. Dr. Ojukide.
So, which means that you probably won't be able to take questions.
Okay. What are there questions, sir? Because I intend
because I wanted to ask you what are pidgin proverbs? What is it? Are the proverbs pidgin or pidgin rendition of proverbs of proverbs in Nigerian languages or Nigerian cultures?
Okay, so if they have Nigerian nuanced rendition, can we adequately and clearly call them Nigerian pidgins, sir? Can't we?
I don't know. So I'm just telling you that when you say Yoruba proverbs, for instance, it's not just about proverbs in Yoruba language. Even if you translate them to English, they are still Yoruba proverbs. So if you say pidgin, knowing that pidgin in most respects does not represent a cultural or ethnic group. So how do we call them pidgin proverbs? So that's basically something I think you should think about. Yeah. Anyway, any other comments? I may not necessarily be right. I'm just so I'm just trying to say that we need to probably find ways to study these proverbs where rendered in pidgin. Maybe something has changed, or maybe they've been pidginized in a way that I know that there are some post-proverbials that are going on. I mean, there's a whole genre now that is spearheaded by Professor Remi Raji on post-proverbials that reflect a kind of ideology and orientation within the current dispensation. Maybe you want to also look at what Professor Raji and his group have been doing in this area and see exactly how Nigeria proverbs or proverbs in Niger may fit into that that genre. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So I guess we've had that's the last presenter. I suspect so. So
Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. I was actually waiting, but I didn't get.
Oh, okay. Is that Gloria?
Yes, sir.
Gloria, okay. You can make your. After Gloria, is there any other person waiting? Okay, Gloria, let's hear you. You can make your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Udetoze, and I would be presenting this work on lexical innovation and identity construction, discourse analysis of Akpororo's comedy. This work was done by Achime Mary and Gloria, but I will be presenting. So stand-up comedy in Nigeria has become a dynamic social linguistic space where performers use language to entertain, construct identities, and negotiate social meanings. Contemporary comedians such as Akpororo strategically deploy linguistics and discursive resources, code switching, lexical creativity, prosodic manipulations, repetition, and contextualization cues to project identities and evoke humor within shared cultural knowledge. And like Lugbe and the Mamo said, 991, as I noted, they said that Nigerian language in Nigerian function not only as a medium of communication, but also as an index of social belonging. This is particularly evident in the comedic discourse, where linguistics forms are deliberately manipulated and reinforced and to reinforce communal experiences. So this work looked at how Akpororo construct identity, bring about humor to the listeners or his audience during his stand-up comedies. And certain people have worked on this kind of stuff, lexical innovation, humor, performance, audience participation, and alignment. But there is a research gap because while the Nigerian pidgin, lexical innovation, humor, and identity have been studied separately, few studies integrate these elements within live Nigerian stand-up comedy, especially performances of comedians like Akpororo. So this study addresses this gap, analyzing how linguistics, creativity, performance, and social cultural context converge to produce humor and construct social identity. The research design adopted is the qualitative discourse analysis approach, which examines language use, meaning construction, and social interaction in Nigerian stand-up.
Waiting happen.
Hello, Gloria. Hello, Gloria. I think it's probably bumped off.
Oops, that's serious.
Let's give her a few moments. Let's see if she's going to get back.
Hello. I don't know if anyone can hear me.
Yes, we cannot hear you, but you were off for a while.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
You can go on, yeah.
I was talking about the data analysis. We focused on lexical innovation, pragmatics and contextualization cues, code switching patterns and humor strategies, as well as identity markers. And theoretical framework adopted for the study, we adopted 4 different theoretical frameworks: the performance theory by Goffman 959, the interactional social linguistics by Gumpers 982, the audience design theory by Bell, 1984, and indexicality and identity construction by Silverstein, 2003. All these allow the analysis of how the linguistics choice of Akpororo, the NP, the language code switching, index identity, like how all this help to index identities like urban youth, everyday Nigerian, and religious Christians on how audience identities are co-constructed in response. So I would be putting up some of this data, like I believe you can see my screen. The first data I have here says this country, nothing they want tell us, they don't use them before. Mistake when we do now, we not ask, we know people when use them, no give us manual. This country, nothing they won't tell us, they don't use them before. Mistake when we do now, people when use them, no give us manual, which means no one can convince us otherwise. This country has been used. And the mistake we made was not collecting evidence from those who use the country before handing over to us. So in the analysis of this, Akpororo employs a combination of lexical creativity, metaphorical framing, and performative exaggeration to articulate political disillusionment in a humorous manner. So the expression "them don't use them before" exemplifies semantic extension, where the verb use moves beyond its literal meaning to index ritualistic exploitation or political manipulation. So this metaphorical broadening intensifies satire and reflects the shared cultural understanding among Nigerians who describe the state as repeatedly used for ritual purposes of political manipulation. And mostly this is used for, let's say, the internet freestyles, like the Yahoo boys. So when they say, when in Nigerian people, when we say them don't use them, it's like, in the context of those boys, it's like, okay, these people beyond just getting money online, deceiving people online, they use people for ritual purposes to make money. And that is what Akpororo tried to do here. So looking through the performance theory, Akpororo adopts the voice of the ordinary Nigerian, dramatizing collective anger and exaggerated gesture and vocal intensity. The performance enacts citizen frustration as a shared emotional script, encouraging the audience to laugh at their social political predicament. And looking at this from the lens of the interactional sociolinguistics, it interprets metaphor as contextualization cue, guiding audience comprehension. Phrases like "them not give us manual" invites inference about governance transparency, relying on shared cultural knowledge. And from the lens of design theory, the audience design theory, it shows how Akpororo aligns with the masses through familiar pidgin expressions, reducing social distance and creating a shared social political perspective. And from the lens of the indexicality, Akpororo indexes national identity by invoking collective political memory, class identity by speaking as an ordinary citizen, and political identity as a critic of the ruling elite. Humor emerges by transforming political grievances into laughter through exaggeration and metaphor. And we have a couple of this data. For time's sake, we won't go through them all. So in conclusion, the study examines the use of Nigerian pidgin in stand-up comedy, focusing on the performances of Akpororo, and the analysis revealed that Nigerian pidgin serve as a versatile tool of humor, social critique, and identity negotiation through lexical innovation, code switching, and cultural grounding references. So Akpororo creates humor that resonates with audience across social, economic, and regional divides. Yes. For recommendation, we recommend that for comedians and performers that they utilize culturally grounded linguistic features and performance cues to enhance audience engagement and comprehension. And for researchers that they conduct further research in Nigerian pidgin across media platforms, including online content and radio comedy, to broaden understanding of linguistics, creativity, and social impact. For educators and cultural institutions, that they incorporate Nigerian pidgin and performance studies into curricula to highlight its role in cultural expression, identity negotiation, and social critique. In conclusion, Bororo's performance exemplifies the dynamic interplay between language, humor, and society, demonstrating the critical role of Nigerian pidgin in shaping comedic discourse and cultural commentary by acknowledging the social, linguistics, and performative dimensions of comedy. So this study contributes to a deeper understanding of how humor operates as a side in cultural negotiation and collective reflection. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much for this presentation. Sorry, I want to, Gloria, right? Gloria, are you still hearing me? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I can. Yes, sir.
All right. So this, I think your work is a very important one, given the fact that it deals with the humor space, which I believe it's Nigerian pidgin dominated, and it's big business, and your recommendations are also quite very significant. And in a country where people really appreciate the value of academic work like this, I think any serious government will look at what you have suggested and see how we can the application value of this presentation. So let me now open the floor for questions, comments, and anyone who wants to make comments, please go ahead. Who wants to ask questions, please go ahead. So, well, let me ask you: is there any way we can determine when there is a shift from Naija usage to basically a demonstration of incompetence in the use of Naija?
Yes, sir. There is.
Well, how do we know? How do we know when somebody is simply just mixing language and speaking Naija?
Yeah, when someone is speaking Naija, we can get all that from the phonetics, phonetics, and even the syntactic constructions and the meaning the person is trying to pass across. We can actually get all that.
Okay, because I asked some of my students to look at BBC pidgin and to work out a way to find out exactly whether BBC pidgin is actually pidgin or whether it's some variation of. So I think that's basically something that will be interesting in case you are interested in that kind of study, to look at developing the markers for two-dimensional movement from competency and then to sociolinguistic variation, and see exactly what we can find out.
So can we ask a question?
I asked you, I opened it up for you. I said, ask a question, didn't I?
Okay, sir, sorry. Yeah. But can I say ask?
Go ahead.
Distinguished colleague, please, I would just like to know, considering he speaks Warri version of pidgin commonly called Naija, can you say now that Warri is the authentic Naija variant that should be given credence as the real Naija pidgin?
Okay, I do think that when it comes to languages, once one language is spoken in different regions, different environments, it becomes dialectal. So we can agree that Naija is dialectal. So whereas people in Delta State are seen to have one particular variety that is loved, actually because of the nature of the environment, because here in Delta State, we don't have a lingua franca, because our languages are very different, not mutually intelligible. So this Naija actually helps us to communicate wherever we are found. But it's not to say that it is the only one that should be given credence. But on the other hand, since for language planning, we agree to pick a particular variety to say, okay, this is what we're using. If the Naija spoken in Warri is chosen, I don't think it would be a bad idea, but I don't know if that's what is seen as the standard. I think Professor
Gloria, how many people will understand the Warri How many people go understand the Warri variety when Agnes they talk say make we choose now?
Anybody when they listen to comedy for Nigeria, no say na Warri,
That's urobotic. You know what I call them? I call it urobotic and Warritic variant, and then there is the botic one. there is the benitic. Well, it's interesting, and I think it's quite an interesting question actually. But I think we are still dealing with the whole issue of it's an evolving language, and I don't think Naija will stop evolving, because once a language stops evolving, I think it becomes a dead language actually. So thank you very much for your very interesting presentation. We're looking forward to reading it in the journal when you have written it up.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
thank
sir.
you very much. I just have a piece of announcement for those who are on ground that there is a visit to Bowers Tower, and those who are interested in seeing Ibadan from the highest point in town can indicate to the organizers so that they can make an arrangement for just about 2 hours. You go to Bowers Tower and then see the rest of Ibadan. Pepper Clark's Ibadan. If you have read John Pepper Clark's poem, which says Ibadan, it's how does it say it now? Of a city of rust and gold, flung and scattered among many hills, like a broken china in the sun. So that you will meet with Pepe Clark when you get to Bowers Tower. You will see him live there when you look at the town. So thank you very much. So those who are interested, please.
Prof, sir.
Yes.
We have been duly informed in the chat room that about 5 persons are here to present. Following the schedule, they were supposed to present in the afternoon, but BC has just informed them that everybody should please pull their presentations.
Yes, there will have to be another chair for that session. So we will probably constitute another session now. Well, I don't know if I think we can remain here, but they can get another chair to chair the session. I'll sort that out, and so let's remain in the room.
All right, sir.
I think the problem basically is that too many people came late, and so that created a planning problem for us. Thank you very much.
As long as Sunday is available.
Yes, I just said we will ask them get a new chair for the session, and then they will present. Thank you. So, where are we now?
Hello? I can't. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Of course, we can hear you.
Yes.
Hear me? You can start now. You have 10 minutes to present, please. Isa Mohammed, are you there?
Good morning. Good morning.
Isa Mohammed, yes, I can see you now.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hear me?
You can start
Yes,
your
I can hear
presentation
you very well.
now. You have 10
Okay.
minutes, please.
All right.
Isa Mohammed.
I can hear you very well.
Unmute yourself and start.
I have unmuted myself already.
Projected. Reclaim host.
I have already unmuted myself.
To reclaim host.
Can
Hello, Isa Mohammed.
Can you hear me, please?
Hello, Ma. I think the problem.
Unmute yourself and start your presentation.
We can hear Isa Muhammad, Ma.
Okay. So can I go ahead and start, please? Good morning. My name is Isa Muhammad. I'm Dr. Isa Muhammad from Naija University, Sokoto.
Isa Muhammad, are you ready now?
I'm ready. Some of the participants confirmed that you can hear me.
I think we can hear Isa Mohammed. The problem must be the network, perhaps we can hear him.
Some of them are saying they can hear me. It's only you who is not hearing, I can get.
Go ahead, Isa Mohammed.
Okay. My name is Dr. Isa Muhammad. The title of my paper is Naija Language Varieties and Hausa Influence. Evidence from University. Good morning, everyone. As I said today, I want to share insight on how Naija is spoken at Udus and how Hausa language went to. I will show you real examples from students' everyday conversations, hostels, and social spaces. So you can see the kind of language interaction that happens naturally at Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. The background of my paper, as we know, Nigerian Pidgin or Naija is spoken all over Nigeria, and it serves as the lingua franca for millions of speakers. Each region puts its own mark on it. For example, in Lagos, Naija has a strong Yoruba influence, while in the Niger Delta, it borrows from Igbo and other local languages. Therefore, at Udus here in Sokoto, we have a unique situation. Students from different parts of Nigeria, many of whom are Hausa speakers, interact in a space where Naija is widely spoken. This interaction leads to a special Sokoto variety of Naija from our studies. Let me go to slide 3. What do we mean by Naija and Hausa influence? When I talk about Naija, I mean the regular Pidgin students used to talk with friends. Hausa influence in this paper means you can hear Hausa words, you can hear Hausa phrases and pronunciations, or even sentence patterns mixed into their Naija. For instance, words like kai, wallahi, or barau are dropped into Naija conversations, even by students who are not native Hausa speakers in Sokoto. It is very natural to hear such kind of instances, and nobody is forcing it into them. The purpose of the study aims to describe the Sokoto variety of Naija. I want to show the ways Hausa language affects vocabulary, pronunciation, and sentence structure into Naija. Also, I want to highlight why students are using this variety and how this variety serves social and communicative purposes. Basically, it's about showing that Naija here is dynamic, it's adaptive, and it's locally flavored in Sokoto, particularly in Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. Now, let me talk about how the data was collected briefly. I observed the students in different contexts, hostels, lecture halls, cafeterias, and social events. I also did semi-structured interviews with 30 students, 15 native Hausa speakers, and 15 Naija speakers, or students who can speak Naija from other states of Nigeria. On top of that, I recorded conversations with consent of the participants to capture natural speech patterns. In this way, I was able to get both what students say and how they say it. Now, to hit the nail on the head, let me give you, major findings of my paper. Lexical borrowings, words and expressions. The most obvious Hausa influence is vocabulary. Students mix Hausa nouns and verbs with Naija words. For example, you hear them saying, I go chop tuwo with me and karkashi tonight. Here, chop is Naija, but the food names are Hausa. Tuwo and me and karkashi are Hausa words. The second example is, that barao don't steal my phone. That barao don't steal my phone, Instead of Naija thief or ole, the Hausa word barao is preferred in this area. The next one has to do with some discourse markers, which show some influence. For example, you hear students saying, Kai, see the motor way that guy buy. Kai expresses surprise more naturally than the Naija. Oh, you hear them saying, Wallahi, I they tell you the truth. Wallahi adds emphasis and, authenticity. Similarly, the next finding has to do with phonological influence. Hausa affects the way students pronounce Naija words. For example, the word this in standard Naija, which is pronounced as this, become this in this part of Nigeria. Secondly, pa sound sometimes becomes spa. That's fricative, from plosive to fricative. Therefore, many people, especially the Hausa speakers who attempt to use Naija in Sokoto, may pronounce the word please as fleece. And some of these, instances. These small pronunciation shifts make Sokoto Naija distinct from other regions. Then the last, finding has to do with syntactic and pragmatic influence. Hausa also influence sentence structure. For example, focus constructions in Hausa are mirrored into Naija. Example, in standard Naija, you say, my friend, Naim go Lagos. But in Udus, due to this, Hausa influence, there is a slight, syntactic or pragmatic influence. You hear them saying, nah, my friend, go Lagos. Nah, my friend, go Lagos, instead of my friend, Naim, go Lagos. Responses and conversational habits are also affected. The last example, for thank you, Students may say Sannu or a hybrid Sannu or No Wahala, reflecting Hausa norms rather than the southern Naija. You welcome. This shows that Hausa does not just contribute words, it also ways of structuring sentences and interacting socially. Now, why do students use this variety? Naija here helps the students connect. From our findings, which corroborate a lot of findings made by scholars, we discover that it's more friendly here, it's informal, it reduces tension between and among students in group work or peer learning. It allows everyone to participate freely. It also carries social meaning. It signals belonging, solidarity, and local identity. In conclusion, the Sokoto variety of Naija is strongly influenced by Hausa at lexical, phonological, and syntactic levels. Students adapt it naturally to communicate effectively, socially, and academically. This variety is rule-governed, it is flexible, and an important part of student life at UDUS. Recognizing this helps us to understand how languages interact and evolve in contact zones. Thank you very much as I welcome your contributions and suggestions in how to improve my paper. Thank you very much. I cannot hear you, ma.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Hello. Thanks for your presentation. Let's have questions or comments from participants.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Do we have comments or questions for Lisa? Or do we have to wait till after? Okay, just be noting your questions till we have all the presentation done. Now I want to call on Mohammed Haruna Gomi.
Ma'am, before you call on the next person, please.
Are you there?
I have an appeal. Ma'am?
Mohammed Haruna Gomi.
I have an appeal to make.
Let's have you to present your paper, please.
All right. There is a colleague of mine called Dr. Halima Abdullahi Aminu. She is from Sokoto State University. She actually sent her paper. Unfortunately, she fell ill, so she sent her paper to me to appeal
Mohammed
to you.
Haruna Gomi is not ready. Maybe I don't get Sunday.
I am ready, I'm ready.
Okay, he's there.
I'm ready.
He's there.
I'm ready.
Thank you, Haruna Goni.
Alonge Sunday, the Ndokwa is present.
Let's have you present your paper. Please know that you have 10 minutes for your presentation. Thank you.
I am presenting on the topic a comparative analysis on Bisan language and English. Yes, ma, I can hear you, ma. I'm presenting on a topic, a comparative study on diacritics and homonyms in Bisan language and English language. So it is vastly known that language plays a crucial role in facilitating communication. Two languages that have gained significant global significance in recent years. Bisan language is a language spoken by about 40,000 people living in around the town of Naija in Niger State, Midwest Nigeria, between the river Niger and Benin Republic border. The Bisan language people are among the eastern segment of southeastern group of Mande languages and are notably well known. However, English is a popular language which is spoken all over the world.
Started.
English language, including the United States of America, Canada, Australia, and even Nigeria, where Bisan language is spoken. So the rise of globalization, increasing volume of cross-cultural communication, it has become essential to examine the similarities and the differences between these two languages. So fast forward to their critics in English language. According to Perry, in his paper published in 2022, he said the role of diacritics differs greatly across languages. In European languages, diacritics are used in Latin scripts, added to some letters. The use and the role of diacritics differ greatly in virtually all European languages. So in English phonetics, you do not see diacritics in orthography Naive and Touche and all others. You only find diacritics in the transcription of words. Like the diacritics in English show and also we have that in Bisan language too. In Bisan language, we have two major types of diacritics that we use. So nasalization is the first one, and the nasalization is marked by a tilde, which is going to be written on an E or an O, which is an O. Are we together? Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Due to the network problem at the end of Isa Mohammed, I think we should have Sunday Temitope Alonge to start with his own presentation now. If you are there, Alonge,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
let's have you present your paper. Thank you. You have 10 minutes.
All right.
Share your slide with others, please.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Try to share your screen so that others will see what you are presenting.
Let me see.
Ah.
You have 10 minutes, please.
Okay.
Apologies. I have my I'm presenting with a phone. I'm presenting with a phone, and it is kind of impossible for me to not permissible. I cannot share my the system did not allow me to share my screen.
Hello, the other person is interrupting.
Can I proceed with my presentation?
Hello, ma. The other person is interrupting.
I don't know. Goni has problem with their network over there. That's why we call up on the alone get to start. And it seems as if he's also having problem at his end.
The other person is interrupting me.
Alone get Sunday, are you there?
Come on, present.
Yes, I'm here.
And then please read the chat room. Messages are dropping in the chat room that would be useful. They can only read.
Follow this on already now.
Can I please round up?
Hello? Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
I've said it, but
Hello, can you hear me?
oh,
This is Alonge.
Everybody, please hold on a bit. Let them sort it out, please. Hello, Dr. Haruna Goni, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. They are having some bit of technical issues at the workstation, and I have been told to quickly stand in so that our data will not be wasting away and so that something can get done. If you don't mind, we'll request that you quickly start your presentation all over. Just tell us what your work is about, what methodology you applied, and the conclusion so that we can contribute to the work. Can you please do that?
Okay.
Fine.
Yes, I can.
Please start now.
So I am presenting a paper on a comparative study on diacritics and homonyms in Bisan language and English language. So the method I used to gather my information is sorry for that, please. My apologies for that, please. So I used already existing projects on English diacritics and homonyms, and I gathered information from speakers of Bisan language and a little books I can gather on diacritics in Bisan language. So the similarity, let me just round up using the similarities and giving the similarities and the differences between the findings that we have on Bisan language and diacritics. So here, diacritics play a crucial role in both Bisan language and English language, albeit in different ways. In Bisan language, diacritics is commonly used to modify or indicate specific phonetic features of letters. For instance, the cedilla is used in Bisan language to modify pronunciation on the letter C to produce the S sound, which is the C sound. On the other hand, English language diacritics is primarily stress and intonation patterns, as in the use of a macron to indicate primary stress in the phonetic transcription. On the other hand, homonyms, or words that sound similar but have different meanings, are prevalent in both Bisan language and English language. However, the nature of extent of homonymic ambiguity differ significantly. In Bisan language, homonymic ambiguity is relatively rare due to the use of diacritics to distinguish between words with similar pronunciation. For example, the word we, which is ice, where it will have a falling, and then we, which is prolonged with a rising to an additional alphabet, additional consonant makes it a different one. We is ice, we is pit. They are spelled distinctively and differentiated. In contrast, English language has a vast array of homonyms due to complex history and borrowing from other languages, leading to permanently ambiguous sentence structure. The impact of diacritics and homonyms in both languages. The presence of diacritics and homonyms has profound effect of language usage in both languages. In Bisan, the specific articulation on diacritics provides crucial information about pronunciation and meaning, aiding comprehension and communication. However, the limited presence of homonyms represents a lower level of lexical ambiguity, facilitating effective communication. In English, with its extensive collection of homonyms, presents a greater degree of challenge in understanding context and ambiguating meanings. This requires greater resilience on context and additional language skills to enhance communication misinterpretation. It also gives sociocultural implications in both languages. So in conclusion, the study has provided comprehensive comparative analysis on diacritics and homonyms in both languages. Differences in the use of both and impact of these linguistic features highlight how they shape a phonetic orthography and overall structure of each language understanding of language. Understanding these features enhances our ability to comprehend the importance of the importance of diversity. Further research in the area can potentially shed light on the implication of language acquisition. Thank you. I am really, really sorry that I couldn't shed more light on it. It is due to time factor and the fact that the network is not cooperating with us.
We strongly hope that it is actually due to time factor and network not cooperating, because it's a bit hurried. The work itself looks a bit queer. What did you say is the topic of your work again?
A comparative study on homonyms and diacritics in Bisan language and English language.
Okay, I'm wondering when one is at the level of phonetics and the other is at the level of morphology. I'm wondering the correlations between the two, while you are pairing the two together. And diacritics, what is you are looking at orthography and phonetic transcription at the same time with ambiguity. I do not think, anyway, we'll ask you questions later so that others can actually present. We'll move to the next presenter. And I think that will be Alonge Sunday. Sir, are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you.
Fantastic. Please, Dr. Aruna, thank you very much for the presentation. We'll come back later, please. Dr. Alonge, please go on, sir.
All right, Ma. Thank you. I'm presenting my paper on the topic, the role of Naija Pidgin in managing online conflicts in Nigeria. So I'm starting with the background. Nigeria's online space is highly multilingual with 500 plus languages. Naija Pidgin acts as a lingua franca across regions and social groups. Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, is a major arena for public conflict. And Pidgin shapes tone, identity, and alignment during online exchanges. Its informality and humor make it culturally powerful. Nigerian linguistic diversity means that online users often need a common expressive language. Pidgin has evolved to fill this gap, especially in heated debates, creating a unique digital culture where it plays a major conflict mediation role. The research focus. This study investigates the following. Number one, how Pidgin is used during online conflicts between 2020 to 2025, and whether it escalates or de-escalates tensions. How language choices signals identity and power. Its roles in digital peace building. Broader implications for Nigerian online culture. The theoretical framework. This study is grounded in Bukos and al. 2005 Sociocultural Linguistic Theory of Identity, which proves a comprehensive analytical framework for understanding how language practices construct, negotiate, and transform identity into social interactions. This framework is particularly well suited to examining online conflicts because it treats identity not as static attributes that speakers possess, but as an ongoing social and linguistic accomplishment that emerges through communicative practice. In context of conflicts where competing claims about who belongs, who has the authority, and who represents authentic positions are constantly at stake, this dynamic view of identity becomes very essential. So here, the identity develops interactions, it builds similarity, that is unity or difference, tribalism. So Users position themselves socially and politically, and online identities shift depending on the context. And Pidgin expresses authenticity, resistance, and humor. So in the methodology, qualitative content analysis was adopted over 87 conflict exchanges and 1,200 posts analyzed. And the platform investigated was X, Facebook, and TikTok. So the case studies revolves around NSAS protests, elections, then Naira redesign, and ethnic debates. So now we move to the key findings. Pidgin softens hostility through humor and relatability. For example, abeg make una calm down small. Politicians go still dey laugh tomorrow. Una don fight tire, make I bring pure water. No be everything suppose turn world war for this app. Now, this explains that Pidgin diffuses tensions and lightens the atmosphere, and humor becomes a coping mechanism and a subtle way to shift discussions away from anger. And the next one is Pidgin builds pan-ethnic Nigerian solidarity. Here, we can see from some certain example. Number one, problem no dey look tribe. Hunger no get ethnicity. We dey suffer this thing together. That is, all the tribes are suffering together. We dey suffer this thing together. Now we be Nigerians, no be enemies. Here, Pidgin cut across ethnic lines. During fragile moments like election disputes, it remains conversations away from Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, antagonisms towards collective suffering. It acts as a national identity marker. That is, we dey suffer these things together. Now we be Nigerians, no be enemy. So, and the next one is that Pidgin asserts authentic, ordinary Nigerian identity as against elites. All big grammar no go help that mama wey dey sell tomato. Now we wey dey ground dey feel am, no be people for APC office. Your English know me say you sabi pass anybody. So here, Pidgin represents that it represents the people. Why English represent the elites? This tension is visible during policy debates. Pidgin frames discussion as real, grounded, and street level, making it a tool of class resistance. That is, Pidgin bridged the gap between the elites and the grand people. So, and the next one is Pidgin can intensify insults and political tribalism. Here we see that we analyze some certain posts. Number one is see as your candidate dey behave. Una no dey shame. Oga carry your nonsense comot here. You dey talk like person wey no get battery for brain. Mumu supporters full everywhere. So here, despite bounding potential, Pidgin enables unfiltered aggression. Users feel less restricted and more direct. Political and ethnic insults become sharper and more casual, contributing to digital hostility. So here we can see that Pidgin intensify insults and also bring about political tribalism. So, and the next one is language choice become a source of conflict. Here, for example, if you want talk policy, speak proper. If you want talk policy, speak proper English. So because I dey speak Pidgin, I no fit talk serious matter. Na sense matter, no be packaging. So here, many conflicts shift from the issue itself to language legitimacy. Pidgin speakers defend their right to participate in serious discussions. English is sometimes framed as elitist or gatekeeping. So if we go to that example again, we see that here, so because I dey speak Pidgin, I no fit talk serious matter with question mark. So here is showcasing that Pidgin, like while speaking Pidgin, you can actually make a lot of senses. So, and the next one is Pidgin supports humor, memes, and emotional processing. So, for example, this country go wound person.
2 minutes more.
Okay, this country go wound person with laugh. Wahala no dey finish, but we sef no dey finish. Nigeria na one big comedy show. Who go settle this country matter by? So here, in times of stress, Nigerian use pidgin to joke about hardship, humor, and humor becomes a form of emotional survival. This expression reduce the emotional weight of conflict and create a sense of communal endurance. Now, pidgin quickly signals stance, identity, and authenticity. So here, pidgin communicates authenticity. User adopt it when they want to show sincerity or reject pretense. It helps online participants immediately to locate social alignment, who is one of us and who is for me. So conclusion, pidgin is a major linguistic tool for managing online conflicts. It reduces tension through humor and relatability. It can also escalate conflicts when used aggressively. It reveals deep issues of class, ethnicity, and identity. And also, it integrates also integrating pidgin into digital literacy and conflict resolution strategy can improve online harmony. So pidgin is not just a language, it's a cultural technology. It mediates emotion, constructs identity, challenges hierarchy, and builds solidarity. Recognizing its role is central to understanding Nigerian digital public sphere. Thank you so much. That is
Thank
the
you
end.
so much. We are very pleased with your work. You did so much, 87 content, 1,200 plus data analysis. That is huge. We'll come back to comment on your work so that we can accommodate everybody. May I know who is ready to present next? Engineer Daniel, are you ready, please?
Yes, I'm ready.
Fantastic. Please, let's have you. Do you have slides?
Yes, I have.
If you're using the system, the technical committee, they've informed you, the Nigerian Language Network have informed you that you can use the share button. On my system, it is the one on green. Please press it. But you should have opened your slide on your system before so that when you activate share, you go straight to that slide and click on it. We are waiting for you, sir. Fantastic.
Okay. I salute on now. My topic now, the one I sue for board, say some Abrini them prove out for Naija. The wisdom where they inside will still make sense today. Please, I would like to make my presentation for Naija, because now Naija we do. Now, what in this work they talk? We can look inside about 47 Abrini proverb them. Come because of say one share for Naija for this short period, we come take only 10. Then the proverb where they teach better lesson for life, how to behave and how to relate with people. Aboriginal in a language where they for Bayelsa and River State too, for Riverside, how far inside. That's so. Now, number one, they say make we take one way concern dance and drum beat. They say Aboriginal people and all people where they for the barrel say a bit dance and make drum like this. So one they say I go they talk the one for Aboriginal small, take the Naija, then come pick the lesson. Now, Novina will Egba no Belegima and Nemokuma. Now the kind that step where they use, like they take beat drum. You know be anyhow, so you go know how to beat your drum. Lesson be say if you try, people suppose reward you well. Make society dey fair. Na be the lesson, you know. Number two be say, let's say your appetite no sure. So Aboriginal people go say, yeah, complex the money more command, they are reasonable. You have to look at the money more command. They say, Naija go say, we no go beat the drum because we no sabi what he want. Because every drum get what he want. Our lesson be say, I beg you, make I no rush within. You know sabi. If you no sabi something, just be sure first. Wait, make you sabi the matter before you put mouth. That's what you do. The that one be say number 3 be say carry a load oh. I bring so some pen and people they use firewood the boot not be say gas and all this stove. That one no dey for we country. Oh. So you see person we carry firewood na him get am. So carry for your load for your head. Lesson be say everybody supposed carry their own wahala. Not be say you go take your wahala come put another person head. So make you dey responsible. Na him be that. The other one be say when the cock dey crow, say I know na lalgan any said the neighbor. Say cock dey crow many times before they break. Oh, what be that lesson? Listen to different people before you decide. So when kids come out like this, you put my mouth when you never hear one side, you could take one side, come judge case. Not be so. I need to bring peace. So if you look better, you go bring peace. Number 5 be say people sabi plant cocoyam. Some side they plant cassava and yam, but this one kosa cocoyam leaf. See, a tokolo, I've been look about the gook. See cocoyam, we soft in leaf. They stick for pottle. So they say, lesson they say, if you unbowl yourself, you go grow. So make sure say you respect authority. Now from there they feel identify you say you form the president tomorrow. Now the Basil they say, you get one kind of small fruit ready for forest. What they call sugar plum. The leaf, then they take banana. Say, over in prepare over game come. See, now sugar plum dry leaf them. Then they use banana, no be another thing. No. What be the lesson? Lesson they say, use waiting you get, take solve your problem. Make you be resourceful. Find something for your belly, do something. But not do yahoo. Not that when they talk. Oh. Now, take forest from Forest Street. Another one they say, because our people, the forest, they tick, rain forest, plenty. So then they use that one. They say anything when they for themselves, and they take throw away parable. See now small tree, they make forest too. If everybody join, the lesson is if everybody join hand, community go strong. And chop go down yafu. So make it the support unity. Those scatter with town, those scatter with country. That's what it be. And that one be say, because actually stick, because our people know they use this Pepsodent them, they brush mouth that she will stick. So one be say, Oprumoho would run. See the person we ask for she will stick, they get mouth odor. Okay. Make me learn the lesson when this people. Say if you need help, talk amo. No, they hide your problem. No shame for belle. Shame. Shame man, they die for daytime. So they continue. So I beg, they go to talk anything. Another one be say, grass cutter a porcupine. Now they be afraid though, but for this brain one be say, Obama can come, na de me biero, nege okro Canada. See, now be only grass cutter they chop cassava, every porcupine safe, they chop am. So what in that mean? They say, no judge by name or hype. Check well, ask question, so that you go sabi the truth, so that you no go judge something wrong. Number 10, final, they say, and rock bone, amen. See, the hen, they look waiting if he swallow before he put from out. If not, suppose he come put from out, who for a mouth. Now die, I just say one chop something. So lesson be say, no make be I, now small for life. No overdo. Find your level, I beg, find your level. So we'll come go look, say, make we see the lesson then, because for the first time we come look, say, somebody like bookroom like Paul Grice, talk out for a communication sense, say, look, somebody they talk, you could bring sense aside, make it relevant, truth, make it truthful like this. Not the talk yama, and then make it inform. So the other person go follow you for waiting the talk. Then we can't use this brain proper, come match with this Paul Grice in principle. Say, look, like for fairness and justice, we in the talk. What in the number one talk we say, like the dance and drum one we talk. See, if you try, make them reward you. The person will get something now. Make society they fair. So for Grice principle, they say the relevance. Say make responsible fit the matter. Now, What we do be say we just select three, or not be say we'll collect all the 10 or the because all the 47 program when we discuss. Not be we no go fit protect for this one Naija talk. So we can't pick 3. Number 2 be say caution and prudence. Say make you take careful. Like the one where we concern if you know sabi the appetite, your appetite no dey well. See, no rush inside to do something. Make sure, make you wait until you sabi the matter. So if you look at Grice principle, they say make you dey truthful, oh, talk true, oh, and bring out the formation, oh, so that another person go follow you. Make another person know they move for your talk, oh. Talk true, talk waiting the matter be. Now, if you look at the responsibility, that one where they talk about when we come talk, say make a person we carry firewood, making well fetch fire, making carry a load. Now, if you come look match am for Bryce in principle, they say carry you a wahala. They responsible for your talk. They say informative, talk waiting, go help. Not be one go scatter people. Now we come look say make not be say now only a brain proper they bring out this kind of wisdom. Oh. We come look for other Africa, Nigeria, the language, the way they true proverb for whether meeting or whether na marriage or whether na burial or so we come pick them. So this we come select only 3. Then we come look the one when that fairness and say make people fair. Now, even for Yoruba, I get something like that. So when you compare the Aborigine own and Yoruba one, even they talk, even for Yoruba, then get some proverb when they talk, say make you day. Make sure say you fair. Make everybody get everything supposed to get. Now, if you can't go look for the second one, will be caution. Well, you can't look at another one. They say another one for Hausa. Say then get similar thing too. Say make you act with sense. Make you no rush. They get that too. Even for number 3, one say responsible, they responsible. A brain one get. Even the Igbo people say get similar one. Say make you stand by your own, make you stand well. So finally, now make you come look waiting finally. Now, as they write down, I interpret a brain in them proverb for Naija, it they help us well, keep our grandpapa them holding their wisdom strong. Not so. Now, he also they make our caution stand strong, no shaking. Even as the world do, they work out fast with all this global wahala, where people they mix together. Nope. Not be one man alone go eat elephant for town. Na body. That's so I be. That's so you be. I don't end. So I can't end my story. And I well done.
Thank you very much. Now, so we say, come sit down, hear your story from beginning, go reach end. We say, well done. Thank you very much. We get comments to make, but I know go on maybe say now only me. We still get people we won't present. We will come back to you, sir. Please sit for back, drink water. Who is left and waiting to present? May I get to know?
Me remaining.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah, now let's have your presentation for Dr. Halima.
You remember I say I will present for on behalf of Dr. Halima, right?
I just said so.
Yeah. It's all right. The title of paper is Naija in Higher Education.
You need to share your
Patterns
slides,
of
sir.
Youth.
You need to share this.
No, I cannot. I'm not ICT compliant enough to share the. Actually, I cannot share it, but I have it. If you want me to send it via email or any other means, perhaps via WhatsApp, I will do that, please.
Please, are you using a system?
I'm using my phone.
All right, send it to the platform, please. Send it to the Nigerian Excellence.
After the presentation?
Yes, so that you won't be distracted after the presentation.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. I will be...
Hold on, please. Engineer Tire, please, can you stop sharing? Engineer Tire, please stop sharing. Yes, Dr. Isa Mohammed, go on.
I'll be sharing her findings from her study on Naija usage in higher education, focusing on students from Udus, that Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, and Sokoto State University in Sokoto State. Her goal is to show how Naija is used not only socially, but also in academic interactions and how it interacts with Hausa and English in these settings. Background. Both universities host students from many different ethnic backgrounds. While Sokoto is predominantly Hausa speaking, students from southern and central Nigeria also study here. In such a diverse environment, Naija becomes a kind of neutral language, a common ground where students can communicate comfortably without favoring one ethnic language. This makes Naija especially popular among younger students who use it for casual conversations, for peer learning and social bonding. The study therefore focuses on both Udus and SSU because these universities in Sokoto give, a very good environment for our study. Udus is older with larger Hausa speaking population, while SSU is newer and more mixed. Now, what problem are we investigating? Although Naija is widely used among students, it rarely appears in official academic discussions, in university meetings, or informal settings. In northern Nigerian universities, there is also very little research on Naija usage. Most studies focus on southern Nigeria, leaving a gap in our understanding of how students in Sokoto employ Naija in both learning and social spaces. Therefore, this study aims to fill that gap by documenting where and how students actually use Naija. The objectives of the study are to first identify situations in which Naija is used. Second, to compare how frequently it is used in Udus versus SSU. Third, to examine how students mix Naija with Hausa and English. And finally, to understand why students choose Naija in different contexts. For example, a student might switch to Naija when explaining a complex concept to friends because it feels more relaxed and easier to understand. Data collection methods. To capture real language use, she combined three methods. That is questionnaire. She used questionnaires, semi-structured interviews, and audio recordings for natural conversations. Participants were selected from different faculties and from hostels. For example, she observed that students discussing assignments in hostels, chatting casually in cafeteria, and sending messages in WhatsApp group. This approach allowed her to see how students naturally could switch between Naija, Hausa, and English in both academic and social settings. Now, the next, sub tied to our topic is to discuss on where students use Naija in SSU and Udus. Naija appears in a wide range of contexts. In hostels, students often gossip or share jokes. For example, you hear a student, or from the data she collected, here is an example. I beg, you see waiting happen for football match. On WhatsApp or Telegram, they post memes or messages like, no wahala, I go send you the notes. During group discussions, especially in faculties with mixed ethnic groups, students might say, make we break small, small to explain a topic that is very difficult. Even when meeting someone for the first time from outside Sokoto, Naija serves as a neutral ground. For example, how far now, waiting they happen. Now, some of our findings include, the functions of Naija in academic contexts, particularly in Udus and SSU. Students also use Naija in academic discussions, though informally. For instance, a student might ask, I beg, explain that theory again, make I hear well, or say, this lecturer no dey joke, him assignment heavy. Another example, make we break them down small, small. Here, Naija simplifies complex English concepts and reduces the seriousness of academic talk, allowing all group members to participate without fear. It can also make collaboration more relaxed and interactive. The next finding is about code switching with Hausa and English. Code switching is very common in Sokoto and in other places. Students switch to Hausa to express emotion or emphasis. For example, Wallahi, this topic hard, or we go finish this assignment, Dauri. English is used for academic terms, waiting be the definition or clear for that chapter. Naija remains the best language for comfort and friendliness, while Hausa adds local flavor and emotional weight, and English provides technical meaning. The combination allows the students to communicate effectively across languages. Now, differences between Udus and SSU in respect to how Naija is used. Interestingly, patterns differ between the two universities. Udus students coming from a more Hausa-dominated environment show stronger Hausa influence in Naija, using words like kai, to, and sosai frequently. SSU, being newer and more ethnically diverse, shows a style of Naija closer to the general Nigerian youth variety with more English borrowings and less Hausa influence. For example, a student at Udus may say, I know Sabi Wallahi, while a student at SSU might say, I know understand this part, I beg. These differences highlight how campus demographics shape language use. Why students prefer Naija? Students like Naija like Naija because it is natural, because it is relaxed and stress-free. It helps them build relationships and friendships. It helps them to ease tensions and share ideas comfortably. In academic group work, it allows shy students to contribute without fear of being judged. In social settings, it is used to joke, to tease, and to bond. Finally, in conclusion, Naija is very strong in both universities, performing multiple roles. It is more than just a casual or humorous language. It facilitates social interaction and cross-ethnic communication. Hausa and English influences how it is used, but Naija remains the main tool for informal communication. Understanding these patterns helps us to appreciate how flexible and adaptive students are in using language to meet social and academic needs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Issa Mohammed. May we once again know why you said Dr. Halima cannot make a presentation, because this is the second conference we're meeting and you're the one making presentation for her. May we know again why you said?
Of course, yes, she has been ill since June this year, trying to recover. She has been on sick bed in Abuja, recuperating since June up till today. We just pray that God is going to grant her, good health.
Amen. Allow me. All right, so let's interrogate.
I will also share her number with you probably after the meeting so that you can call and discuss or greet her.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Noted for onward action. Then you said that for this her paper, our goal is to show how Naija is used socially and how it interacts with Hausa. So I was looking forward to some specifications like the numbers of Hausa found within the certain numbers of discourse. I wanted to know how many were the discourse that were gathered or harvested, how many actually are the words in Hausa, so that we will know the extent of the interaction. Maybe that is included in the full work. I rather want to assume that it is.
I think so. I think that's
fine.
in the full paper. She sent the full paper to Dr. Agnes yesterday. She only shared these excerpts for presentation today with me.
Okay,
so
we'll ask
I don't know. Probably that is in the full. I suppose it's in the full paper.
All right, thank you. Then you also said that how this Naija helps in social bonding, informal usage, and peer learning. Do you understand what she meant by peer learning? That's part of what you mentioned.
Yeah, peer learning. Guys, in-group learning between and among different students, irrespective of their demographics, females, males, students coming from different diverse ethnic groups. It encourages, it actually smoothens the process of learning between students, irrespective of their age, of their gender, and what have you.
All right, so now you said just to round up, actually, it looked to me like data were also from memes, oral narrative, and texture. It would have pleased us to know which one more shows the interaction of Pidgin and Hausa, whether the oral or the textual. Generally, I want to believe that it is in the oral. So these are contributions we are making towards now adding to the paper. I hope you understand that.
I understand. I really understand.
All right. And then in the oral, we hope that she will make provision for prosody, because there is a way you deliver in Naija Pidgin that also sweetens or softens or it changes the dynamic of the Pidgin that you're speaking. There's something you did in your own work when you were doing your own presentation. I want to assume that she also will do it, but if she fails to, kindly remind her that taking consent is very essential in our research work nowadays. It has always been, but now more than ever, seeking consent is very paramount. Please help us to get that out. So I want to thank you for
I will do that.
I want to thank you for the gap that your studies, the studies from this end, your study and Aruna Goni study, Dr. Halima study. We just want to say a very big thank you, because like you rightly mentioned, most studies are focused on southern usage of Naija. So a lot more coming from northern usage will really help to will really help to understand the use of Naija in Nigeria. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
We cannot find Alonge Sunday online again. We have a few comments concerning his work, but we'll have to skip that because of time. We'll go to Engineer Etire. Please, do we have any comments for him? His work is on Abureni, the Pidgin version of any comments from anybody?
Yes, there's one.
Thank you.
Can I?
Yes, please, by all means.
Hello?
Prof, please go on, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you very well, Prof.
Are you sure they can hear me?
We can hear you. Please read the chat room.
Wow. I'm not sure they. Hello?
Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. We can hear you.
You can hear me. This idea of northern southern varieties is really, really very difficult. And I'm not sure we should begin to lay emphasis on that. For instance, if you are talking about northern-southern variety, how will you place Ilori? Geopolitically, Ilori belongs to the north. Do they speak northern variety of Pidgin? Or do they speak southwestern variety of Pidgin? So I'm not sure that that can work. And I think that the presenter needs to theorize it in such a way that there should be all the features, criteria features to make distinctions among all these varieties. That's one. And the guy who presented on Pidgin as a means of resolving conflict, he made some claims that I don't believe are right, claiming that Naija Pidgin can intensify insults. I think that's a claim that cannot be, really supported by any literature. And resolving conflicts may have nothing to do with Pidgin. For instance, if Modakeke people, they speak the same Yoruba language, and sometimes they do have conflict. Eri and Ilobu, I mean, they speak the same language, the same Yoruba, and they still have conflict. So it's not conflict, it's not about you having the same language or you not having the same language. It's about whom you are and factors that lead to that conflict. And you cannot say that you cannot claim that Naija can be used to, Naija can uniquely be used to resolve conflict, or it can lead to conflict. I don't think that would be right. Because if you claim that, it means that you are simply saying that Yoruba cannot perform the same role, Hausa cannot perform the same role, Igbo cannot perform the same role. And I do not really think that is correct. You need to have a rethink about that. Thank you.
Would like to thank Professor Akimade Akonde. Please, his question has been put in the text in case you miss out on what he's trying to say. Prof, please, do you have any question for Engineer Daniel Etire? He worked on Abureni proverbs. Anybody in the house has any question? We also have Aaron Agoni waiting for questions from us. My question to you, Engineer Daniel May, is this. Is this a work in translation? Because what I noticed you did is to pick a proverb in Abureni and then translate into Pidgin. So should we categorize this as a work in translation? Bear in mind that Professor Buhari asked a very genuine question earlier, and that is, do we even have Pidgin proverbs? It looks like we're doing translation. Did you hear me, sir? Engineer Daniel?
Yeah, it's both. Yeah, it's both translation and then trying to pick the learning, that is the wisdom from there after translation. So it's not just translation, but what does it mean after translation? So consciously in the main work, you have, they were transcribed. So consent to people who were volunteering these proverbs, and also as a native speaker, some of what I could pick. So marrying both from the elderly people and work from other people that translate them. So if you translate, are you just interested in translation so they can have a corpus? No, we want to see what impact it will have on society. That is where it is grouped under the social linguistics, where you now link it to Paul Grass's maxims. So, do they make sense? Do they make, are they relevant for discussions? Are you carrying people along, or just want to intimidate people with Yababu's idiom, idioms and proverbs? So consciously, we are looking at how these translations can help in the wisdom space, how you manage people, in the relationship between people, and peace building.
All right. So thank you, for that clarification. The next question I would like to fit in, for following your acceptance that it is a working translation, even though it's targeted at distributing wisdom. My question is this, therefore, into what variant of Pidgin is this translation? And did you actually gather people, like use the strategy of focus group discussion to harness the right translation for the Abureni rendition of the proverb?
Yeah, the answer is yes, because we use people who have the native speakers, and it coincided with what our language group, this is the Aborigine language group and Bible translation group, of we have representatives from the native speaking communities who were in Port Harcourt, and we reviewed this together. They also had opportunity to put it in their own way because of the dialect differences. So this was a representative Aborigine version that meets the various dialect groups, and so the contribution came from them. So they were making the proverbs, saying it the way they are, as natural as possible. Especially some of them, a proverb like which I didn't put it in this table, narrowed on the 10. One of them was about respect in society, where they use the mushroom with the cap. That these days everybody wears the cap. Everybody wears the cap. But another dialect was saying that no, they were using the catfish, that everybody has wears the bird. So those sort of input were very relevant to this discussion. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much. Demographics is very important in the area of translation. And by that, we mean we want to know how you have categorized your your consultants. If those you are using are elite will not be competent enough to give you the raw usage of Naija as a street language, more or less. And that's why we found words like porcupine, sugar plum. There must be equivalent on the street use of Naija. These are still, generally speaking, English. So my recommendation is that when you want to progress further with this, your work, let your source of data, the informant, not necessarily be within your Bible translation team. Look for those on the street who actually really use Naija as a consistent language that will enrich your translation. My own opinion with respect to methodology.
Yeah, that's noted. It was two level. I just mentioned the Port Harcourt gathering because it coincided with this period we are doing in Nigeria. Actually, this exercise was actually done with the native speakers at home. So you had people, yes. Thank you.
Right.
I take note of that. Thank you.
Thank you. And you delved into comparative analysis. Please, these are also another separate domain that can make another paper itself. So let's just disaggregate some of these things that are lumped into this particular paper that you have presented. Other than that, we are very grateful. We appreciate you so much for the work done. Haruna Goni, are you there? You're the last.
I'm with you, please.
Thank you so much. I want to also say a very big thank you for your presentation. I don't know if anyone in the house has any comments to make for Haruna Goni.
Before that, please, I would like to shed a light on what you asked earlier.
Thank you.
You talked about ambiguity. You said how can ambiguity come in where we are talking about diacritics?
Yes.
Right? So the thing is, Bisa language diacritics is not like you don't transcribe in Bisa language. The diacritics show in orthography. So in situations where you don't put those diacritics when writing, it will actually mean another thing, even if the context doesn't support. It will actually mean another thing. I cited an example with way, as in ice, WE with a falling tone, and then where with a rising, which is a WE. as well. So the first one where is ice, and then the second one where means monkey. So you see where the ambiguity comes from. Also, beside language diacritics and homonyms work together because you are tend to know what is being meant when you see the diacritical mark there.
My battery. Yes, I'm sorry. Please go on.
Oh yeah, that's just it.
All right. So thank you very much. Ours is just to make observation. Then you teach us more because it's your work. You are the one teaching us. So thank you for this clarification that you have made. We hope it is standard orthography, which means it is the orthography acceptable or used by everybody, right? Aruna Goni.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So good job. We'll wait for you to develop the paper so that we can still contribute some more. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I'm sure the committee has taken care of all presentations for this conference. Thank you and stay blessed.
Thank you. You address me as doctor. I'm not doctor. My lecturer
I'm
is there.
praying for you. Don't worry.
I'm not doctor. Before my father, Dr. Isa, would come and say, I want to take his title.
Dr. Isa cannot do you anything. Don't worry, he's my friend. And please greet my sister.
I shall.
Yeah, all right. Now, do take care, everybody. Thank you for coming.